All right, let's talk about a situation that I am sure every single one of you in IT has run into. It's a real head scratcher, you know? Everything seems to be running perfectly except for one single stubborn application. It's a mystery, and today we're going to put on our detective hats and solve it together. So it always starts with that one ticket, right? One application is not opening. And that's it. No huge, flashy error message, the whole system isn't crashing. It just does nothing. And that is exactly the kind of deceptively simple problem that can have you chasing your tail for hours if you don't approach it the right way. And what's the first thing that goes through your mind? That little bit of panic starts to set in, right? You're thinking, oh no, is the whole system down? Is this just the tip of the iceberg? It's a totally normal reaction, but jump into that conclusion, hitting that big red panic button right away, that's usually a mistake.
But then you start gathering the evidence. And what do you find? Well, users are logging in just fine. Their desktops are loading up. And hey, look at that. They're opening a dozen other applications with zero problems. Okay, this isn't some system-wide meltdown. This is targeted. And that, right there, is the single most important clue we are going to get.
And this is where we need to kind of flip our thinking. See, when only one thing breaks, it's not a curse. It's actually a gift. Seriously, because the problem itself is screaming at you where not to look. And that is going to save you an incredible amount of time. I mean, just think about it. If everything is on fire, where do you even start? It's total chaos. You're looking at servers, networks, storage, everything is a suspect. But when it's just one app, suddenly your list of suspects gets really, really small. Your investigation gets focused. The problem is literally handing you a map to the solution. So here's the big takeaway from that first step. Because everything else is humming along nicely, we can take the entire core infrastructure, all that complex stuff, and just set it aside. We know it's not the problem. Our whole investigation now shrinks down to just the world of that one single application. Okay, so where do we point our magnifying glass first? Let's start by investigating the application's immediate environment, all the external things it relies on to do its job. We have to talk about dependencies. You see, no application is an island. It's more like the quarterback of a team. It needs its teammates. Things like databases, file servers, maybe some APIs. And if even one of those key players doesn't show up for the game, well, that quarterback can't do its job. The play is dead before it even starts. So who are the usual players on this team? Well, you've got your database connections, a super common culprit. You've got license servers. The system has to check if the app is even allowed to run. Then there are other things like web services or even just simple file shares on the network. Any single one of these can go offline and it'll stop our app cold, while every other app on the system is totally fine. Now we get to maybe the most important question in all of IT troubleshooting. The one question you should always ask first. What changed? Because let's be real, systems don't just break for no reason. Something, somewhere, is different today than it was yesterday when it was working. And this is how you start to build your timeline, your trail of clues. You look back, okay, a week ago the app got an update. Oh, and look here, yesterday someone edited a config file. It could even be something tiny, like a password in a connection string that just got updated. That's your smoking gun. Following that trail of recent changes, that's almost always the shortcut to solving the case. Okay, so let's say we checked all its friends, its dependencies, and they all seem to be okay. Where do we look next? Well, we go to the application's home. We check the host servers themselves, the machines where it's actually living and breathing. The problem could be really specific. Maybe you have 10 servers in a farm and just one of them is acting up. And of course, that's where our app is trying to run. Or maybe a specific Windows service that the app needs has just stopped on that one machine. It could even be a corrupted installation file, or that one server just isn't configured exactly the same as the others. All right, our investigation so far has been all about technical stuff, right? Glitches, connections, servers. This third line of inquiry is completely different. We're going to follow the permissions trail. And this is one of those aha moments. Sometimes the app isn't broken at all. What looks like a failure to the user is actually your security system doing its job perfectly. The launch is failing because it's supposed to fail for that person. So think about how this works. The user clicks the icon. The system instantly asks a question. Is this user in the correct security group for this application? And if the answer is nope, maybe they just switched departments or their role changed, the system just blocks it. It's not an error, it's security by design. So let's pull all these threads together. Let's talk about how an experienced admin thinks about this problem. The key is they don't just start randomly clicking things and hoping for the best. They have a process, a logical checklist. It all comes back to thinking like a detective. You use logical deduction, you test a theory, and you rule things out one by one. This is how you avoid those frustrating wild goose chases and zero in on the true cause of the problem. And here it is, your systematic approach, your detective's checklist. Step 1, verify the scope. Is it really just one app? Step 2, check permissions. Seriously, check this one early, it's so often the problem. Step 3, look at the host server's health. Step 4, test if the app can talk to all its backend buddies. And finally, Step 5, review what's changed recently. Follow these steps in this order and you'll solve these puzzles so much faster. So the big lesson here is pretty simple. The next time you get that ticket about one single app failing, take a breath, don't panic. See it for what it is, a giant, flashing clue. Use it to narrow your focus, and whatever you do, avoid making changes to the core system that you already know is working just fine. And I'll leave you with this final thought. When you're really and truly stuck and you think you've checked everything, just ask yourself this question. It forces you to challenge your own assumptions. It's the question that keeps a good detective sharp. Thanks for joining the investigation.
Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for watching this video. My name is Naresh. I am the content creator behind this YouTube channel. I have created a community for Citrix learners where I will be posting a lot of details on Citrix products and how to work in Citrix environments. I'm going to mention the link in the video description so you can click on that link and you can become part of the community. All right, see you soon. Bye bye.